Right, everybody. Thursday, April 23rd. I can't believe it's almost the end of April. But, wow. Okay. Well, let's hear what's happening in your mind, and also important to notice we're at the last Thursday call. But we're going to keep going on Wednesdays. Keep going on Wednesdays. It's not over. It's not over. So just noticing that there's always something when there's a transition like this. It's been so awesome to be with everybody as much as this. So, all right. So let's check in, share anything. It can be about that, just that we're going to only meet once a week for a few months now. And what you're watching about your thoughts, because I think this is important. It's like the end and a transition of something, right? Which is like the end of a meal, transitioning into whatever's next after eating. But eating will come again. It will happen. So, Laura, how about a few first?
Hey, everybody. Oh my gosh, I want to cry. Didn't expect tears. I'll talk about today. I am exhausted today. So I am tired. But as far as eating goes, I noticed today a little more compulsion, but in that compulsion, I just noticed it. And I remember when we first started this group, I admitted that I had years and years and years ago was diagnosed with multiple personality disorder when I was quite young, and because of a lot of trauma as a youth that I've never even spoke about here and probably never will. But so it feels really not like I'm backsliding. I just have to laugh a little bit when I say, well, my body and I spoke about this today. And my body said, but it really does have a voice. It really, really has a voice, and I'm comfortable with that. So I listened, and I once again made fresh bread. My grandson and I made fresh bread, and I did not eat the whole loaf. I thought that was just a miracle. Food-wise, this is a good day. Everything else, I'm glad we have Wednesdays.
Yeah.
I'm really good today. Tired, but good. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah. All right, Teresa.
I too am a little sad, just finding myself a little sad today. A little change, right? Things are changing with the program, with the virus, with the expectations, or they're announcing the plan for how we're coming out of this in my state, or I guess it was the state of North Carolina today. And so just change. And my husband, like he said to me this morning, my chest isn't happy. And I was like, so just panic. And then, okay, there you are, fear. Okay. Just trying to ride the waves of emotions today. That's kind of, and when I'm catching myself mid-bite of, oh look, okay, you're wanting to comfort, you can do that with food if you want, or we can do something else. So it's been just a great awareness day with all the waves of emotions.
Well, yeah. It is good to notice they don't stay up at the volume 10 the whole time. Like the mind will think, like, it's feral. And it's a wave. They're waves. Yeah. Good to notice. Just good to notice.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, Maggie.
Oh, there is a lot. There's just a lot. Um, I guess I'll start with, in general, this week, I've, come to a good place often with eating, and then I go backwards, so that I can see the light, I can see that there's light at the end of the tunnel here. And, but what I noticed is I'm not as judgmental about it, like, just looking at, okay, so what's going on? Because you're not hungry, so what's going on? Or, is there something you need? Is this what you need, or do you need something else? And sometimes I eat anyway, and sometimes I make a different choice. And then one of the things that happened this week was I can't remember what I did the work on, but what it led to was I don't trust life. And that felt really huge to me. It was really, really huge. Like, I don't trust life. Wow.
Mm.
And I did the work on it, but I think I want to do more work on that. In terms of the program, I feel like, I feel like all along I've had this mindset of, I'm going to be doing this all year in whatever, in whatever amount, you know what I mean? Like, cause I just have felt like, I need it. I need to. So,
Yeah.
And, so I'm not sure how I feel, I'm not sure if, I think I need to be, I just need to experience it differently to have a reaction, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Right now in this moment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Nobody said that. Somebody was sharing with me that they did a whole year-long program.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, but I do notice what people seem to be saying the whole time is they always want it to be longer.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that, so I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, and I love the fact that you're still allowing us to meet, like you're still going to hold meetings. I mean, like, because to me that's been like a huge part of it for me. Whether I'm live in the meeting or doing it later, that kind of like that dedicated space and time for the investigations. Lots of times for me, I need that story starter, let's call it. I like the conversation in the beginning is really helpful for me to get to reach back into a story, because I don't always think to, I don't always do it on the spot. I don't always write it down. But those starters, the starter conversations really help me. So.
Yeah, good to know. Yeah, helpful. Thank you. Glad you're here.
Me too.
All right, May.
Hey everyone. I just had some emotion come up because I realized that there's a part of me that doesn't feel fully connected to the group. I have these judgments, like I think I'm the youngest one here. I'm only 30, and so I feel like I'm very immature, and that more mature women wouldn't want to connect with me. I have this story about that, and so I feel like I make myself separate in that way and assume that everyone else sees me as separate.
Mm.
And I also notice that week after week that I've come here, I'm mostly talking about my boyfriend and not about food. And I noticed a part of me feels guilty about that. And even though the thoughts can be applied all around. And I ended my 3-day juice cleanse today. And I don't regret it because I feel like I always learn something from experiences like this. And I feel fairly on balance. I noticed that I'm trying to listen to my body, and I'm scared when my mind thinks about reintegrating solid foods. It starts to go to images of all these different foods I want to eat. And then that scares me to think that I'm going to like go out and get all those foods I eat. And then if they're here, like I just see images of me, like I'll just have a little bit of this and a little bit of this. And so those images scare me a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I also went through a really intense detox with my body, like body aches, headaches, sweating, chills. Like it was intense. And I didn't realize that, I mean, I don't eat that processed foods, you know, like I've got a good old disordered mind around eating. Like I'm very like, I will not eat those foods, but I do consume in the form of cacao, caffeine every day, and also some processed sugar. And I cut that as well. And I'm also 5 days off weed. So I went through an intense detox, and I woke up yesterday morning and I felt lightheaded, and I had to sit down on the floor because I felt so lightheaded. And in that moment, I felt so scared and so judgmental towards myself for doing the cleanse. And my mind, first thing it saw was the carpet. And it goes, there's something wrong with the carpet, or like the carpet is wrong. And then it says, my whole life is wrong. So, and I've been very vigilant about my inquiry, and I'm happy to be here.
Good. Yeah. Awesome.
Thank you.
I'm glad. Jess.
Hey, so I wasn't going to come tonight, and it's because it's the last night of this. I understand it's not the end of everything, and I just hate that the waiting for the end, like it's
Mm.
I have that the feeling of, well, you know, yeah, we're here and we're gonna do the inquiry, and then it's the end of the, yeah. I find myself wanting to just run, fine, whatever.
Mhm.
It's like that. It's a very heavy feeling. I had a session with a friend tonight, and at first he canceled sort of last minute, and I said okay, and then he said, okay, I'm just realizing I'm not taking this seriously enough, and would you like to do this time? Anyway, we ended up doing, and all this came up, like the plan and and stick with the plan, and everything ends, and nothing lasts, and it was not a satisfying session in the sense that I didn't feel lighter. I felt much, much heavier. So I'm kind of walking in with all that
Mm.
pressing down tonight.
Mhm.
It's, and I'm so frustrated with myself that I do that. I know I disconnect prematurely, even like I'll just disconnect, like okay, you know what, we're done, we're good, I'm good, okay, bye, before there's anything
Mhm.
happening. So
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
whatever, I'm fine. I'm good, just go to the next person, I don't care.
Oh, so good. I think we could all relate, just watching.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Thank you, Jess. Glad you're here. Glad.
thank you, me too.
Okay. Abby.
Hello.
Hi.
um, you know, I I'm finding myself very angry all the time. It's really quite frustrating. I feel trapped in it. I'm irritated. Everything irritates me, everything.
Mhm.
And I'm like, dude, what? And I just it's I mean, I guess one part of it is that I'm watching it more. Well, not watching it, but I'm not trying to watch it or observe it. It's because I'm so irritated. I don't even I can't even but I think because I've been doing the work and this program, like I have no choice but to start observing it more
Mhm.
rather than just experiencing it, which
Mhm.
is what or acting on it,
Mhm.
but I'm just like, I feel trapped in it. I suppose that was I feel a bit trapped. And I was a little late. Were you asking about something? Was there something specific about, did you have a question about the program or what?
Just that it's the last Thursday call.
Right.
Things continue. We're all, but just I like to mention it because it's sort of like, acknowledging here we are. We've had evening calls and that won't happen.
Yeah, I'm going to miss those.
Yeah.
There's something about, because the evening's always a funny time, and it's interesting because in the beginning I was dragging my feet for the evening calls, like, oh, I'm gonna be so tired, or because it's later here.
Yeah.
I know, don't even, it's like early still, and yet I'm like, but I'm not like, I actually look forward to them. So yeah, I wasn't sure if you were asking for like a little synopsis of something, so
No, not necessarily.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Just acknowledging. Yeah. Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Lori.
Hi. So yesterday I did the work with my partner, and my belief, I think, was mindless eating is more comfortable. And then we got some turnarounds about that. So today I wanted to eat more mindfully. And then this later this afternoon we came in from a bike ride, and I had a snack, and then I wanted to eat something else. I wanted to eat mindlessly. And but I stopped and I asked, okay, what's the thought, what's the feeling here? And a couple hours ago one of our tenants called and told us they're moving out. So I'm a little bit not distraught, but it's not something I look forward to having to do. And so my thought was, I'm a little bit flustered. I'm a little bit whatever, and that's why I want to eat. But then I thought, I have a right to these feelings. So for me, rather than, okay, I'm feeling a little off, so eat, versus, well, I have a right to feel a little bit off,
Mm-hmm.
And that just makes a difference, to think that I have a perfectly good I have a right to feel however I feel. And I don't, and there's nothing wrong with it, and I don't have to eat over it. So anyway, it's just the way I feel.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, Velisa is here. I'll unmute you and you can share.
Hi. Hi. Let me just move rooms for a second because my daughter's listening to a story. Well, for the past couple of days, I've been working on feeling safe with thinking differently and feeling safe with doing some things differently.
Ah, awesome.
Which can be very anxiety inducing, but
Yeah.
then just like intentionally trying to do it
Mm-hmm.
makes it easier. So, and then the anxiety is like the past couple of days I've had a lot of anxiety, almost to the point that it was like unbearable. And then it like now it finally it's no longer there, which feels really good. It's not like so electric in my system.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah.
So continue to work with those, feeling safe, and just feeling safe in my body in general.
Yeah.
As I explore like different trauma and stuff that I've experienced. So
Yeah.
it's very interesting.
Yeah. Appreciate you being here and sharing.
Thanks.
Courage. Yeah. To notice. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. And LaKoya, I'll put you off mute for a second. Or no, I won't, because I can't. If you're listen only, great.
No, I'm here. I'm on a new phone, and I swear to God, I feel like I am an idiot. I can't figure out how to use the stupid thing. It took me 20 minutes to get on Zoom. Like I was on, but oh my God, whatever. Hi.
Hello. That's okay. I'm glad you're here.
I'm so happy to be here. I'm so excited.
Yay. Yay, yay, yay. Anything to report in that you want to share?
Well, I'm still struggling with my body. I don't think you're surprised by that, are you? Not shocking. I'm getting a lot better at tapping down the panic and doing the work in the moment.
Yeah.
And trying to get myself to like a safe space. So like that's such big growth. Like I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'm still working like a maniac. I just can't seem to catch a break. That's all right. I'm getting a paycheck. I'm going to be grateful. Just like it's emotionally exhausting. So I'm just tired.
Yeah.
But it just is.
Yeah.
I think I'm eating less. Like I'm not as focused on the next meal. I am not saying in any way I'm eating better quality food. Let's be clear. But like I spent so much time thinking about my next meal, and that is not as intense as it used to be.
Wow.
That's definitely getting better.
Yeah.
Like I'm getting to a point where I'm like, oh, my stomach's growling. I need to go eat food.
That's amazing. Seriously. We always think we have huge, big, high expectations, and a little tiny thing to notice that's a shift is a big deal, you know?
Yeah. It's definitely very different. So in a good way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're experiencing hunger. How cool.
Yeah.
It's great. Some of us are really scared of hunger. It's like, it's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, like, oh, my stomach's growling. I'm hungry.
Yes. Awesome. It's great. Okay.
All right, now, Grace, if I can figure it out, I'm going to mute my. Okay, I think I figured out how to do it. Oh, stupid new.
That's cute. All right. Okay. Well, thank you all for checking in. Yeah, May.
Did we hear from Lori? Oh wait, we did. I'm sorry. She changed her screen to the still, and so I thought it was like a different person. I'm sorry.
That's sweet of you to be noticing, though. Oh. And was Heidi here? Heidi's here. Do you want to check in, Heidi? We didn't hear from you. You were nice to.
I'm good. Nothing special to check in about, so I'm good. Thanks.
Okay. All righty. Okay. So let's do this. Being our last Thursday night call for now, for this particular round, some of you have been in previous times and you came back. So it wasn't over really, right? So, but just noticing if you have a discomfort, about anything about saying goodbyes, whatever comes to mind, but this, just notice and write down one thing, why you don't like it. And it doesn't even have to be about this particular call if that's not really in your mind, but why you don't like goodbyes. I don't like goodbyes because. Yeah, and you can share in the chat or just write them down, but I like that. May said, I don't like this goodbye because I'm scared I don't have any other spaces where I feel supported by women. And Heidi, they are a mini death. Laura, I missed out. A good one. I don't know who or what will fill the void. Good one. And Belisa, I didn't accomplish enough. Okay. Mm. Yeah, May.
Yeah, I also added in there, it's over.
Oh,
Yeah.
means it's over.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I feel I'm thinking about it and I'm like, I don't like goodbyes because they're uncomfortable. But I'm like, why are they uncomfortable? And I can't quite put my finger on it.
Yeah. That's a great question to go like that. 'Cause sometimes people say, because they're sad, but then why are they sad?
Yeah.
What is it? Yeah.
I can relate to the uncomfortable feeling. And I'm just getting in touch with this list here about something feels wrong in the sense of inauthentic, feels like fakery. We all know, like, why don't we just, it's like I want to get it over with because there's this sense of what? Something fake about it. There's something inauthentic about it. Like, something like the way people say, oh, we need to get together soon, and then you never do, like that, which is fine, but we don't need to say it. I feel, but then see that it's not peaceful, these feelings. There's something there. I feel kind of aggressive about it, like, so let's just not. I keep having this avoiding feeling, but yeah, so something in that, like the discomfort, I don't feel comfortable.
Yeah.
That just made me think of something that was good. I almost feel like it's like I have to act in a goodbye. Like I have to go through the motions. I have to do the social norms. I have to so I have to be a certain way in a goodbye. I think that's uncomfortable.
That's interesting.
And I'm not saying it's like in this, I'm actually having to think of other goodbyes.
Yeah.
Like, because I don't really particularly think I need to act in any way right now, but yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jess.
I can totally relate to what you're saying, Jess, and you too, Abby. I've felt that way almost always, you know, the end of the program, the end of the day, the end of the conference. You know, there's almost a part of me that wants to get away, like I've had enough of y'all, right? Done. But I feel different this time. There's something different here for me that's different.
Mm.
It doesn't have to be this way for anybody else, you know, it's just my experience. Because I do identify, I mean, I have this reputation for saying goodbye so fast, I basically hang up on people on the phone. All my family just laughs at me because I hate goodbyes. There's a part of me that just never wanted to be there in the first place. Part of me that keeps everybody out.
Mm.
And, I personally have opened up and still been fake sometimes, or still tried to, you know, I don't know. I know that this has been good for me.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have been good for me. Listening to your I could go and tell each one of you how you have affected me. And I remember the very beginning. And May, you too. I want to know that toy that you got, that you're so excited about. Okay? Seriously. Message about that. I thought, well, good for her sitting there talking about that. Generation whippersnapper. I'm just kidding. That part I'm joking about. But
it's just powerful to notice the awareness of some goodbyes when something wasn't meaningful anyway, or you thought I'm not connected, or maybe you were, but you're like, get this over with, I don't want to, you know, that's just
pretty much so. I mean, some of these people, I don't really know Melissa, and I didn't really connect with Lori a whole lot, but or Heidi, you know, but I can tell you that just maybe it's just me being open.
Mm-hmm.
And to whoever you are and what you do that's touched me. It hasn't needed to be this talking connection. It's I don't know how to explain it. Maybe it's just me that's been open to you, and just you, who you are, has touched me and affected me, and I'm grateful. And I've been involved in a lot of groups. I mean, I'm AA, OA for years, you know. This has just been different. So thank you.
Yeah, you're so welcome. So I think just noticing that kind of sense of discomfort, you know, either remembering a moment of doing it that way, and maybe it's even thinking, I like this, with the expectations of how you're supposed to be with the goodbye or not be, right? Maybe other people are being those certain ways, but anyway, just the emotional experience. Just noticing a goodbye happening, and then the moment just after. So the goodbye happens, and then the moment right after. Yeah, May.
Yeah, I just heard right away, my mind said, I'm empty.
Yeah.
And ironically, mine was relief. I'm saying goodbye to my grandson today. I was like, okay, I'm done with that for a while. You know, I love him, but you know, there's relief too of not having to show up. Having to show up and be real is work. I think call it the work for a reason.
Yes. Yes. Awesome. So I think just that, and noticing if there's, you know, Heidi said mini death, and maybe going with one of the experiences like Laura that you missed out, or something of the thought, just there you are on everybody's gone, and then there you are, something's ended, and whatever happens there, and that either an emptiness or void, like someone has said, and maybe it's a little bit different, but just watching that moment. So there you are in that moment. And the work we look so often at, you know, like there's a person or a situation or something that's really stressed us out, or they've said something. This is an interesting moment because nothing's happening. Something just happened, but now the situation is you with you. Okay. In May, I'll never see them again. And yeah, so let's just see. Just like between you and there's you and a quietness or an emptiness. I don't know. I'm imagining the door closing and somebody leaving, or what's going to happen after the gathering. And just saying unsafe, insecure, alone, lonely, empty. Yeah, not a distraction.
You know, it's interesting for me. It keeps on coming up. Like before, I said I didn't accomplish enough, and then like the moment right after a goodbye, it's like I didn't do enough. I didn't fully experience the moment, and I'm even thinking like when I say goodbye to like my mother-in-law, right? And I'm like, she leaves the house, and I'm like, oh, relief, that total relief. Thank goodness, like you're gone. But then I'm like, fuck, like I didn't take advantage of this moment to connect with her. I didn't do enough.
Wow.
That's exactly how I feel.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lisa, thank you for saying that, because that just totally clicked with me when I say goodbye to my sisters. Like I just, you know, I spend a lot of time being like, I can't hang out with you, but like if we're all together. And then when I go to say goodbye, I'm like, well, shit.
Yeah.
This, you know, I didn't, but it's like it's in the moment of goodbye that I feel that.
Mm-hmm.
So interesting. Yeah.
So let's
Like, I can't wait to get to the moment of goodbye. If it's like a tense situation, and then at that moment of goodbye, I'm like, ugh, did it again.
Yeah.
So let's look at that. I didn't do enough, or I did it wrong. You know, hold either one of those. I didn't do enough. I did it wrong. Hold whatever one fits most for you. You know, I'm all alone. Okay, everybody got one, a very simple thought, just holding it. All right. So first, just see if it's true. That thought, is that true? Remember, you're just looking at one thought in the moment after a goodbye. Is it true? And if you say yes, can you absolutely know it? You absolutely know that that's true. So what happens when you think it? How do you react? How do you treat that moment when you're thinking this thought? So okay to share out loud.
I feel regret and like I want a do-over,
Mm.
but I don't really want a do-over, but I do want a do-over. I'm like, shit. I want a different do-over. I don't want to do it the way I did it, but I want a do-over. Yeah.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
I said that I feel like I missed out and I feel like I'm behind.
Mm-hmm.
And Abby's regret was good. Like there's definitely regret also, but just like I missed something.
Mm. So good. And when you think you missed something, you know, just see where else your mind travels. I missed something, how it feels.
It's like I'm letting life pass by and not fully living it and not fulfilling my purpose. And it feels like it's coming from a very like selfish place. And like it just feels really shitty.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, May, I love that distraction dictator mode. Worried, assuming the other won't want to hear from me anytime soon. Pressure to be okay, try to prove myself, get attention online. Yeah.
Hello?
Yes. Hi, Lori.
Hi. I was just thinking that it didn't happen the way it was supposed to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was like versus not satisfied, dissatisfied.
Mm.
It didn't, whatever happened was wrong or not complete.
Mm. Okay, cool. And when you think that, what do you notice? How do you react? So just noticing what the feeling's like, what the energy's like with these thoughts. Just sometimes like noticing that moment, it's not good enough. Or our favorite that we've done before, not good enough. The other moments were better. Or anticipating something good is going to, we're going to say hello to something. We like that, but not the goodbye. Maybe. All right. So see who you'd be without the thought. Who would you be without the thought? And first, Jess, heavy, not okay, okay, but not okay. Yeah. I just want to say too, you know, I've noticed grief, sadness. And without the thought. So just look at your particular thought, that one. You're in that moment after a goodbye. Who would you be without the thought? Without the thought, there's something wrong. This is sad, uncomfortable. didn't go well. I missed out. What if that was not in your mind? What if you weren't able to think that?
Just simply relief that I'm going home. Relief.
Yeah, awesome, Heidi. Yeah. Yeah, May.
I noticed that when I was believing the thought I'm by myself, my mind was actually distorting the image of the goodbye. And I actually found my mind then went searching for which time was it that he left my house and I was by myself. And what I noticed is in the examples I'm coming up with, in the first one, I got right on the helpline, someone facilitated me. And the second one, I had a dance class to go to immediately after. And on the third one, I was with you all. I wasn't by myself.
Yeah. It's great to notice the is it true part, like, oh, wait. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the example that I was thinking about, which oddly is not this situation, but it all applies, is I used to go to these great functions that lasted all day long with thousands of people, and very difficult for me to go, but wanting desperately to be there for other reasons. And when I left, I would always feel really lonely and condemn myself and hate myself and just regrets, and that I didn't take more time with people, and why couldn't I be better in crowds, and without all that, without noticing that I missed out, I'm just free. I'm free to notice the connection that was there, because like you say, May, there was connection there.
Mm-hmm.
Feels so peaceful without the thought, and I'm able to be present. And then I could find gratitude. I started to see gratitude in what did happen instead of what didn't happen. I could start seeing that, and then to be excited for future connection and what could happen in the future, rather than, feels much different without the thought.
Mm. Mm. Yes.
I feel the same way. Grace, you asked me what if I thought about it, what was the feeling when I said I feel like I missed out, and it was fear.
Mm.
And I remember even as a child feeling like I was going to miss something. Like I remember that distinctly. And without the thought, it's just kind of like satisfaction and definitely peace. Like I could feel the release in my body as soon as I got to like something peaceful.
Mm.
And then Laura even took it a step forward, like, wow, there could be gratitude and there could be excitement. Like that's even more interesting. Like I have to explore that part further because I didn't get there, but I could see myself getting there.
Cool. Yeah. Which is the great thing about question 4. I like it. Who would you be? You don't have to be up there. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
I felt very relaxed. Mine has to do with walking up my stairs every night on the way to bed, going, oh, I wish I did it this way. I did so well for the first half of the day, and then, so that whole, whatever evaluation of the day. And so it just feels relaxing and looking honestly and looking kind of with excitement, looking with some excitement about, oh, well, I could try this tomorrow if I want, but not saying I have to, but, oh, if I didn't like how this went, maybe I can do this, try this, but not with that shame. Like the shame piece is
Mm,
completely missing from it, and there's peace
mm,
and some excitement.
sweet. Yeah, that kind of remind me your description of the way we'll do sometimes, like uh, imagining like a child learning to walk. That might not be quite the perfect, but doesn't feel upset that it's not walking the right way today. There's just a little, it's just does it a little bit differently the next day and a little bit differently, and it's just all happening. Yeah, very judgment free. Okay, so let's turn it around. So turn it around to my thinking, whatever you wrote, my thinking. So I missed out, my thinking's missing out. I'm by myself. My thinking's by itself. It's just, yeah. It's got a one-way conversation. Talking about everything. Yeah, me.
Yeah, lately I've been looking at thoughts almost like streams going through the air. It's like every thought, there's room for all of the complexity, and I don't have to grab onto all of them. So it's like my thinking is by itself. It's just a stream in the air. It's not something that's attached to me. It's by itself,
Mm.
and I'm separate from it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. My thinking did it wrong, we're just holding that with compassion, as we always do. It's just like watching my mind makes a direction. Oh yeah, it doesn't matter. My thinking doesn't matter. Just a thought. Yeah. So I didn't do enough. My thinking didn't do enough.
In a compassionate way, my thinking missed out. Yeah, my thinking missed out on the enjoyment and the gratitude. My thinking missed out in all of its anxiety on the present moment and what could be. My thinking missed out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm. Mm.
And the my thinking didn't do enough one a little bit hard because it's constantly overactive. But it didn't do enough to support me, I suppose is one way to look at it.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
Well, that one could be a little bit kind of dark though. Like not the one I said, but for me, my thinking didn't do enough. Like it becomes a little bit of it didn't do enough of the right thing, or it didn't do enough of this, or it didn't do enough. So I don't know.
Yeah. Right.
That one.
Yeah.
How about my thinking thinks it didn't do enough?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
My thinking certainly thinks that I didn't do enough.
Yeah.
My thinking needs to be nicer.
Yeah. And I don't know if this fits. It's like so I didn't do enough. I didn't think enough. Just with an open, yeah, with the broad spectrum of the full range of where thoughts could be. It's just good to notice that they kind of lean on the darker ones get drawn to that, and that's okay. They didn't do they didn't completely ruin everything. I mean, the moment passed and then I'm in this moment. Yeah. Okay. And of course, always, if it doesn't really click in like thunk, it's okay. So, opposite. So, the opposite of your original. I'm not, or I did do. It does matter. I'm not all alone. Yeah, could that be just as true? Nothing missing. I didn't miss. I didn't miss anything. You can even hear the Yahoo too. It's like I didn't miss anything that was important to miss, and then Yahoo! I just missed the right amount. Yeah, May.
I noticed that in all these situations with these goodbyes, there's a woman who lives upstairs. I rent, it's not exactly a basement, the house is kind of on stilts, but I rent the lower apartment, and she's always there, and I take that for granted, and I don't realize that if I'm feeling lonely, like I could even just sit and send loving kindness to her. Like just I can meditate on like wanting harmony in that relationship with my landlord. Like I so take her for granted every single day.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, that's sweet. Yeah, there's a human body just right. Yeah. That's awesome. I like that sometimes too. It's like in the neighborhood, you think you're just all alone, but oh, there's neighbors over there. You're not really.
All around, and lots of people are walking lately too. And they're more friendly and talkative than they usually are too.
Yeah. 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 I mean, just what if it was really okay to miss whatever you missed? Absolutely fine. In fact, what's the reality? That's what you missed. Maybe you're not supposed to take in everything. I know not every mind can do that. And you weren't supposed to do any more than you did. Like that's actually was great. Good. Yahoo.
It's the opposite word of missed. I'm even trying to Google it and I can't. What is the opposite of missed? And I love everything you just said.
Mm.
Grabbed,
Gained?
huh?
Gained?
Gained,
Or got it right?
got it,
Found?
found, we found it.
I kind of think of missing something like you didn't see something. There's this imagined thing that I didn't see, or somebody else maybe saying, "Hey, did you see that?" And you're like, "No." So I didn't miss it.
Yeah, I am so. I probably should have missed more. Now think about it. Oh my, I should just. Yay! I missed it because I take so much in and get so overwhelmed, and that's why it's so hard for me to be in crowds. I missed out.
Mm.
In this situation, I almost think it's impossible. How could I even know? I know where I'm coming from in this situation is that I wish I'd opened up earlier. I wish I had opened my heart earlier. That I'm seeing, at least I did it. I'm learning to do that. That connection part is super hard for me. I'll help you. You want to call, I'll facilitate you. I'll even let you facilitate me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that works for me.
Mm,
But there's a different level of connection.
mm,
It's different.
mm. I love that metaphor.
What?
I love the metaphor of the flower, like, blooming, and it's just right. It just opens at the exactly the right time. And if you smashed it, open, and it would kill the flower. And just trusting it opened. I didn't miss anything. I don't know what an opposite be. I gained something. So just even see, I gathered something. I saw something. Um, yeah, whatever. Something wasn't absent.
And that is so true, because when I'm thinking, well, I missed out, and I'm sitting here going, well, wait. I'm not seeing everything I gained here with each individual person as well, right? I can't see how much I found here.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I think I just want to focus on that because that's more true and it feels better.
Yeah. Yeah. I also love how the missing is often it's in the past. And so a turnaround could be just the openness to the future. It's an odd turnaround, but like missing is, it already happened and it'll never happen again, or, kind of a thing or whatever. So sad. But opposite, wow, I'm ready, or this is exciting, or there's more, another chance.
I was thinking about trust. I didn't do enough. Yahoo! Um,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
when my kids were growing up, there was a woman from Taiwan. Her son was my son's age, and they have a big exam that you take before you go on to university.
Mhm.
And her strategy was, I'm going to study for 25% of it each time. You can take it 4 times over the 4 years.
Mhm.
Her family thought she was crazy. Everybody thought she was crazy, but she trusted that she could handle 25%. She couldn't handle 100%. And it all worked out just fine. By the 4th time, she passed everything she needed to. And I remember once my mother-in-law was born in Ireland, so we were going to go to Ireland, which we did. But we stopped in England for 3 days, and we wanted to see everything. And by the time we got to Ireland, we were so burnt out, we wanted to go home. We didn't even want to do Ireland. We really burned out. So I didn't do enough. Yahoo! I did not get burned out.
Yeah.
I took in just enough. Some wonderful, wonderful things happened to me during this session, and it was enough.
Lovely. Yeah. Yeah. Wonderful to find any benefits of doing as little as possible, since we're such doers. I just being was enough. All right. So just notice if you could apply this same feeling, the same inquiry. Might not remember what your answers are, but simply noticing if you could, hear the replay or hear yourself or watch your judgments, listen. Could you, if you traded out this goodbye and this moment where a goodbye just happened with the moment when you're done eating, just notice if it's familiar. There's that yummy food and now it's over. And do you have those kinds of thoughts?
I say something that I'm pretty sure is I'm chasing a squirrel, but I just noticed how beautiful this group is because we're not talking politics, we're not talking world issues. We are if it affects us, like having to go to Costco, something like that, but everything is just us. It's just real. I'm gonna miss that. I'm like, oh, I don't want to know people out on Facebook. I don't want you to know me and all of a sudden not like me. I don't want you to have to think, well, I'm not gonna, I don't, you know. I like us.
Yeah, yeah,
Let's make a movie.
yeah.
This is us too.
Yes. And it might not be over. Like it's like you think, oh, it's over. Yeah, May.
Yeah, I just want to piggyback off of what Laura's saying. Like, it's been such a treat to hear everyone share in the way that they do. It's such an honest space. And, you know, I was doing the work the other day because I was judging myself because some of my, not some of, my very best friends are people that I've met at the school and that we do inquiry together. And somehow we just hit it off. Like, I'm about to go watch a movie with my friend Steven after this. He lives in Florida and we watch movies on Skype, and like, I'm just so grateful because really, like, the depth of what we share together, I don't take for granted. And sometimes I judge myself feeling like I have to be a part of certain communities or groups of people around me because I need these in-person friends. And I do have in-person interaction, not right now, not a lot right now, but usually outside of Corona. And still, I choose spaces where people are so honest. And Grace, I love the way that you hold space for us all and help us all to like take turns and stuff and hear each other. And there's just so much respect here. So thank you all. And I sound like I'm never going to see you all again, but we're doing Wednesdays at noon at Eastern time.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Just have an evening call, but we'll do Wednesdays. Yeah. I love it. We're just easing, we just ease it. It's like you get a little, right there. I might even have office hours, by the way. Somebody suggested that to me. I thought that'd be kind of cool. But yeah, I love noticing, yeah, could it be enough and plenty being right there in the moment. Yeah, LaKoya, were you going to say something?
I just kind of can't, Grace, sometimes you just boggle my mind. I can't believe how you put that together. I would have never connected that on my own. I absolutely could have the same feeling finishing a good meal. Absolutely. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I missed something, right? Isn't it interesting?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, it's not enough. I want more.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I didn't do enough. Like maybe I didn't do it right. Like something about the doing that we might have with eating or.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No question about it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Nice. What's nice to know about it is sometimes we'll think I have so many thoughts I have to inquire into. I'll never get to the end of it. I'll be 95 and I'll be doing the work on my deathbed. No. But this might be in many situations just watching things come and go and being okay with things on the going part, especially, or there's nothing, it's fine, all is well.
Yeah, this process always amazes me, is all I can tell you.
Awesome. And I hope you can still come sometimes, LaKoya, and during the daytime, noon.
I will definitely try to block. Well, when I'm home, it should be pretty, well, that's not true. It's not really that much easier. I take that back. I'll definitely try and block off Wednesdays at noon because I love this time together.
Yeah, I do too. It's awesome. Yeah. So Jess, just interesting one too. It doesn't matter. You think, when the eating is over.
Yeah, there's a a sense of allowing it to matter. There's something here that I'm going to look at about allowing the feeling, like you keep thinking it doesn't matter, fine, blah, 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 instead of like just
Yeah.
the end of the meal doesn't matter, and it doesn't matter,
Mm-hmm.
and it does matter.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting.
Yeah, that is.
I don't know where I'm headed with that, but it's a thing.
Yeah. Cool.
It's liver. Oh,
What'd you say?
I'm sorry. I'm off my mic. I thought I said it's liver. It's that meal that you think you have to eat. Sorry. I thought I gotta get better at that.
Well, let's hear maybe brief them from Teresa. Anything to add that you found there?
Yeah, so I in the goodbye, the feeling was I'm all alone, and I was taken back to like summer camp where I had spent all of this time with these people, and like we bonded and we connected and we're like best friends, and then you leave and never hear from them again, right? and I'm all alone, and it was such an empty, sad, depressing, like powerless feeling. And so what was really cool is when I went back to that moment without that thought, then everything was real. Everything, the connection was real. But before, it was not. And so that was so cool to, be this old and go back to camp and allow the connection that happened there to be real. Yeah. And so my thinking is alone. I loved that one because in its beliefs, it is alone. Like it is alone in its beliefs. And then I put I'm not alone and I am surrounded. That was an interesting. Oh, I am surrounded.
Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Maggie, how about you? Any other insights or share?
Well, for me, it was my thinking didn't do enough, like just relaxing, just letting go. Like my thinking didn't do enough of the letting go, and I could just really feel the place of being okay with where I'm at right now in this moment, but also okay with knowing there's other things I could do if I choose to, but the pressure just totally is gone.
Nice. Yeah.
And I was a teacher for so many years, and it reminds me of the last day of school. It's like so bittersweet because you are just so ready to close your classroom, but you miss every single face, every single heart, every single parent. You just, you become so connected to them. And, they're never really gone from your heart. Like they're just never really gone from your heart and from there's an imprint somehow on you. And I feel that way so many times, vacations that you really enjoy, a family, whether it's a family vacation or just a beautiful park or a beautiful relaxing place, like it just, you physically miss it, and then you can bring, like for me, I bring it back. And so like this trip up the stairs every night, I'm visualizing it like in a different way. It's like, okay, what am I going to celebrate and bring with me? What am I really going to embrace? Whether it's, really don't like how I did this, you know, like, okay, but bring it full on in instead of, you know, trying to brush it away, push it away.
Yeah.
So just kind of like bringing it kind of into that same heart space, like for compassion.
So sweet.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah. Heidi, anything to add? I have to unmute. Yeah.
So I did it wrong. And I was noticing not until the very end, I think when Teresa was talking about how I was so focused on, I did it wrong towards the other people. Not about I did it wrong towards myself. And
good catch. Yeah.
you know, and just I'm so focused on the way I treated them, but I wasn't focused on the way I treated me. And especially around the food, it's the same. It's probably about the same thing if it's about food, that I wasn't really taking care of myself.
Wow. Good to see. Yep. Abby, anything with you?
With the food thing, what you said, I found that really interesting. But I don't think with mine, I wrote it down, but I don't know where I put it. I didn't do enough. I found that a little bit hard with the food thing, at the end of a meal, but I can certainly find it like if I didn't do enough. I think, there's a lot of more of I didn't do it right, which is really a long parallel of that. But again, it's like LaCoya was saying, how you do that, how you bring it back around to food. It's almost like a light bulb. I'm like, oh yeah. And it's so I can hear your voice a lot going like how you approach a meal is often how you approach life or vice versa. And I find that very informative. Thank you.
Yes. Yes. Anyone else that I didn't ask or you didn't get to speak? You want to say anything more? Lovely to be with you all. I look forward to seeing more of you next week. So sweet to be in your English.
Sorry, wasn't this the end? I came in here pretty sure it was going to be the end.
Yeah, it's not the end.
What's happening here? This is totally right.
Yeah.
See you next week.
It's Wednesday and it's just once a week instead of, all right, everybody. Lots of love.
Thank you, Grace. Bye everybody.
Bye,
Thank you, everybody.